How's it going, guys? My name is Zach with the Movie Castle, and today we're going to be taking a look at Graveyard Shift. This is from 1990, directed by Ralph S. Singleton, and stars David Andrews, Kelly Wolf, Stephen Matched, and Brad Dourif, who you guys probably know as the voice of Chucky. He's here playing a wacky exterminator character. This is of course based on a short story by Stephen King, collected all the way back in his very first short story collection, Night Shift. And I have to say, as far as Stephen King adaptations go, this one doesn't get talked about super often. Don't get me wrong, I totally get that, but it is a bit of a shame. You see, when you're talking about Stephen King, you have some real heavy hitters in there. The Shining, It, Misery, Salem's Lot, Christine. There's lots of big, cool Stephen King adaptations, so it gets a little bit hard for something like this to stand out. Something that is by no means perfect, but if you want a B-movie creature feature, boy, is this a lot of fun. You get a ragtag group of mill workers that really remind me of the crew of the Nostromo from the movie Alien. Lots of big, over-the-top personalities, and they're in this grim and grimy basement. It's really dark, it's covered in mud, it should be condemned, but they're trying to clean it out so the mill doesn't get shut down, and the whole thing is covered with rats. But of course it's not just the rats, there's something bigger and more mysterious, and exactly how deep does this basement go? It's some pretty fun stuff. I like the big, over-the-top characters, and when you talk about the idea that a job can, totally plow you over for its own means, profit at the expense of human lives, we've actually seen that before in another Stephen King Night Shift adaptation, The Mangler, and I have a feeling that the two of these movies would probably make a really good double feature. Now again, as I said, it's not perfect. The creature, you can basically guess what it is, and the movie doesn't really have any surprises or huge moments. And the kills are okay, but definitely could have been better. At one point, Tom Savini was actually almost going to work on this, but the movie got caught in development hell and they would eventually lose him. That might have been the extra bit of punch that this movie needed. If this was a Tom Savini movie, everyone would have talked about it. But yeah, it's just a case of there's something missing, something that would have added a little bit more, and this would have been talked about a whole lot more. As it stands though, it's not bad. If you guys like to watch B creature features late at night, if you have a bunch of friends that enjoy a goofy over-the-top movie, there's a lot to like in Graveyard Shift, so I can definitely recommend it, again, to the right crowd. But anyway, I do want to break down and analyze this movie a little bit more, so let me go ahead and talk a bit about the plot. I'll be avoiding the end bit, so no major spoilers, but from here on out, let's take a bit of a deeper dive. We open up with a prologue guy, as most horror movies do, and he works at a textile mill. It's actually Bachman's Textile Mill, and Stephen King fans will notice that as his pseudonym when he wrote things like The Running Man, or The Long Walk, which is actually going to get an adaptation pretty soon. And it's this guy, he's alone in the night shift. You see, they have to run the machines late at night because they get so hot. But even still, you see a thermometer and it's over 100 degrees in there and he's just sweating. And he's talking to the rats and you can kind of tell he's doing this bit where he's pretending he's their teacher. He's going a little nuts, and after he tosses a few rats into this machine, it's a machine that takes the wool and smashes it. I guess it's some sort of a thrasher or something. Well, after throwing a few rats into there, he's ready for some karmic justice. It's a classic slasher moment where he thinks the force coming up to him is one of his friends, but no, it's a mysterious evil entity that's going to push him into the thrashing machine, and rats are going to eat his mangled corpse. It definitely tells you what kind of movie you're in right off the bat, and that's pretty cool. Move on to our main character. He's a drifter, and he's looking for work. Turns out he was actually a college graduate, but he hasn't been able to move on after his wife died, so he's just been drifting from town to town, job to job, never really staying in one place, and when he hears the mill has work available, they're all too quick to hire him. And yeah, boy, this is true in real life. If you find a job that's a little bit too eager to get you, there's probably a reason why they're chewing through people. And that's where we get Warwick, the guy's boss. And boy, this guy is an absolute grade A horror movie scumbag. He's willing to be your friend when he thinks that's what he has to do. Oh, I like your style, I'm going to give you this opportunity. But sometimes either his mask will slip, or he thinks force will be the right answer, and he's ready to turn on you on a dime. Boy, this guy is downright evil, but sadly, really does parallel a lot of the real world. There are a lot of careers, honestly probably most of them, that are willing to chew you up in order to make a profit, in order to keep the machine running. And this guy, oh boy, is he a scumbag, but the actor is playing him with so much passion and so much charisma. It's one of those villains you love to hate and you love to see him in the movie. We also get other characters, as I hinted at the top. Brad Dourif is really amazing in this movie. He's an exterminator. He's got a little dog named Moxie. And he's like, oh, Moxie wasn't playing in the dog park with the other dogs. He was learning his craft. He's a dog that's specially trained to go after these rats. And he'll sit down and talk with the Drifter character. And he'll say things like, oh, I was in Vietnam and the rats were everywhere with us then. And if they captured you, they would make the rats eat you. So he's like got a specific vendetta against these rats. And of course there'll be a love interest in the town for him as well. It's a woman who refused the boss's romantic advances because of course he would do stuff like that. He's an evil scumbag. But there's this moment where the boss has this altercation with another woman he's been taking advantage of, and it's this huge dramatic thing, and the main guy of course sticks up for her, and they kind of form this relationship that starts off just like, hey, we both hate this guy, screw the company, let's go. But quite often throughout this movie, the guy's running that sort of Thrasher thing that the prologue guy ran. The rats are just everywhere watching him all the time, getting a little bit too close, so he has a brown paper bag full of Pepsi cans. It's Diet Pepsi, and they get the logo right in frame, and then he like slingshots them at the rats to keep them at bay. And I'm like, wait, is this product placement? That's weird product placement, Pepsi. Hey, Pepsi, chuck them at rats to keep them away from you. That's super weird, but don't worry, in real life they didn't actually throw the cans at the rats, it's just a cut. But anyway, the mill of course has a problem. There's a basement level that is definitely falling apart. It's probably where the rats are breeding. It's got a whole bunch of junk down there, and he needs people to clean it. The mill's supposed to be closed for 4th of July, but the greedy boss is going to rope people into working a little bit extra. You want some money, right? We'll pay you extra. And they're down there. Furniture is just breaking in their hands. They're tossing a bunch of old records around that have been eaten away by moisture anyway. They're doing no one any good. And to keep the rats back, they have this guy with a fire hose, and he's turning it on, spraying it at the rats, and just screaming at the top of his lungs the whole time. Yeah, you go down there, and boy, do you feel the dirt and the damp and just the mud sticking to you. It's nice and gritty and grimy, and I love this movie's atmosphere. But of course, people are starting to get picked off by something, and the deeper they go into this basement, the worse it's going to get. Again, I'm not going to ruin the end, but I will say there's this set piece at the end that I absolutely love, and it has a really cool, unique fight scene behind it. So overall, yeah, it does get better and heat up as the movie goes along, and that's where you get some of those good B-movie moments. So overall, Graveyard Shift, yeah, it's not the best Stephen King adaptation or anything, and yeah, it could have punched just a little bit harder or done something that surprised me a little bit more, and it would have probably broke the surface and got talked about a bit more than it does now. But as it stands, boy is it underrated. Great performances, a grimy and grungy atmosphere, and overall just a really fun time. Again, don't expect the world out of it, but if that sounds like something that interests you, definitely check this out. It is super underrated, and I had a good time with it. Anyway though, to everyone who's watched so far, thank you for watching. To everyone who's liked and subscribed, thank you. You really are helping the channel out. I'll leave a relevant playlist on the bottom. This should be my Stephen King playlist. If you guys want to hear me talk about other Stephen King adaptations, including Tobe Hooper's The Mangler, feel free to click right there and see more. Anyway, have a good day. I'll see you guys again very, very soon. Playlist here. Have a good day now.